What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your Bell Collective review. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. I don't know what episode this is. Apparently, this is the episode before the last episode, and then we're going to have a reunion. Overall, I thought the episode was actually pretty good. Um, so let's just get into it, okay? So we're at home today, honey. I have my robe on. I am relaxing. I just poured me some coffee. It's like 9:30 in the morning. You lucky I haven't rolled up yet because, if you get a video on the weekends, more than likely the diva's going to be infused for your entertainment, for my entertainment mostly. But anyways, so Letitia and Marie are catching up, and basically Marie is being told by Letitia that they kind of messed everything up for Ferris Street, and that everything is on pause for Ferris Street because what happened at the brunch wasn't a good reflection of what they want to put forward when it comes to Ferris Street. And she said, "You guys just put me in a bad place." So Marie, she says, "I'm truly sorry. I apologize for that. That would never happen again. I have control over myself. So if anything else happens in the future, I will make sure that none of the madness comes from me." So she's like, "I went over to Amber's house and they had some sistervention, and I went in and Marie, what did she say? Who was there?" She said Latrice was there, Melanie was there, and Antoinette was there. And she was like, "Girl, what were they talking about?" And Letitia's like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Who were they talking about? They were talking about you." And Marie says, "Me? They were talking about me, girl? I can't believe, what would they be talking about me for?" So she said it sounded like jealousy and intimidation. Why would they be bringing her up? And she just basically explains to her, "Girl, they said that you were not a good look for me." She was like, "Okay, like that doesn't even make sense," or whatever. So she says, "But respect is important and support is important amongst these group of women. So that's what we need to embody moving forward. We don't need any more classy ratchet behavior." And Marie said, "Okay, you're not going to get that from me anymore. That won't happen with me anymore." So she promised. So we'll see. So Melanie and Latrice are at a photo shoot getting ready. Now, they are going to be doing a photo shoot with the Claremont twins from Bad Girls Club. I had stopped watching Bad Girls Club a long, long time ago. So I've only known about the Claremont twins just based on them being in the news for all of the reconstructive surgery they have been getting, and have completely changed what they look like, apparently. I actually don't remember what they looked like before. Actually, let me look it up and see, because I don't remember what they looked like before to even have a good reference point. But what I saw when they came in that room, um they really looked like they were trying to mimic or trying to look like, um okay, you can see when they started getting nose jobs. And it's like, do you do everything the same since you're twins? Do you get the same exact nose job so you can remain twins? I mean, you're twins. My whole thing is, as a twin, it's like you are a phenomenon. Like, you are a special. You have somebody that came out that looks just like you, and now y'all want to change your faces? That's so weird. So I'm looking at them, and they look totally different from before. They actually look like black girls before, and now they look like Kim Kardashian flunkies. That's what they look like to me. So they have to push it back because they have a 2 hour photo shoot. They're only allowed hours. They have no hot water. The photographer wasn't there. The set wasn't set up. Cliff was like, "You said you didn't want to do it without daddy." And she was like, "Well, when I left the house this morning, you could have left with me." And so he says the photographer didn't know the concept. So I'm trying to figure out who planned this, because it didn't seem like it was actually planned. It didn't seem like the logistics were in concrete or in nothing. It just seems like it was just like, well, no one knew what was going on. And I was like, well, I know that Melanie is the publicist. She's not like a manager or anything like that. So maybe a store manager, or I don't know who would be able to help, but it seemed like Latrice was trying to kind of like stay calm. Like she was really trying to stay calm. She seemed like she was a little flustered. But nobody had anything set up. It looked really bad. And I was like, who is in charge? That's what I want to know. They said he was coming from Atlanta. He didn't even know what the concept was. Who was supposed to get the concept over to the photographer? Isn't that the business owner? I mean, like, who was supposed to? Right? So I'm trying to understand. Anyway, so we get to Glenn and Letitia, and she wants to, he's coming back, from work. Her wig, I don't like to talk about the way people, add stuff to their appearance, like wigs and makeup and stuff. I really don't like to do that. But it's like those things you have a choice in. So you have a choice in a wig, right? We don't like to make fun of people because of their features and things like that, because you don't have any control over that unless you're a Claremont twin and you go get your whole entire face changed. But typically you don't have control over that unless you have the means and the access to change your shit. You can't. So I don't really like to talk about people the way they look and shit. But when you have on things that you made a choice to put on your head, and it looks like I don't know, it's like all of this, it was like this high off of her head. I don't understand what's going on. And then she had this little the pearl thing going around, and she's waiting for Glenn to get home. So this woman just walks into her house. She opens the door. The woman walks into her house. I'll have to say, Letitia and Glenn's scenes seem very contrived. They don't seem to flow authentically. They seem very set up. And I don't like that feeling. I'm like, okay, so this woman walks in. You act like you don't know her, but she walks into your house. Like she just flows into your house like, yes, I'm here. She does this twirl. And then you're like, okay, let me put you in the closet. So when I start saying that, when I do this key word, you're going to come out of the closet and start singing to my husband. And then she gets this cake. It looks like a pie. I don't know what it was, a pie or a cake. And she just slaps it on top of this cake stand. And it looks like somebody had already been eating it. It looked like it actually fell and you picked it up off the floor and put it on the cake stand. That's what it looked like. I was like, okay. So she wants to put the girl in the closet and her to pop out when Glenn gets here, right? So she has all the food laid out for Glenn, fried chicken, yams, greens. It looked like all of this stuff. And he looked surprised. So I'm trying to figure out, when you came home the last time and you were surprised or looking for the food, if it was normal that she always caters to you when you get home, why are you shocked that there's a bunch of food made? Isn't that the normal thing? Isn't that why you were upset the last time? Because the normal thing is when you come home, she's catering to you. So that's why you were looking around like, where's all the food the last time? But now you walk in and you were like, oh, look at all this food. I thought that was the norm. So what's up? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So Glenn gets there. She tells him that she wants to go see a balance coach. And I wrote all these names for therapy so these cishet black men will go. These cisgender heterosexual black men have such an aversion to bettering themselves and self-development that they will refuse to go to a therapist because they don't want nobody telling them how they need to, walk through life because they know everything. So you got to come up with all these fucking names: life coach, balance coach, work-life balance coach, basketball coach. You have to come up with all these fucking names to get these niggas to actually sit down in front of somebody who can give them tools to make themselves better in themselves and in their relationships. Child, I was like, whatever. Anyways, so they were talking about how they got to fight for their relationship. And the lady comes out of the closet singing. She keeps saying, everlasting love, everlasting love, everlasting love. And the lady finally comes out of the damn closet and he's looking like he's supposed to be shocked. And, it just looks so, I said, their scenes are so staged. And then right then he asked about this contract. So now the Claremont twins are there. There's no hot water. The water isn't clean. The lady says it'll stain their hair if you wash their hair with unclean water. So Cliff says, let's use the bottled water and heat it up. First of all, where are you? What studio is this where there's no hot water? And why didn't the person who owns the studio call you before and say, ma'am, I don't know what you're doing here in our studio today. I don't know what you have planned, but we don't have any hot water right now. Why would you rent studio space where there wasn't the resources needed to complete the task of the photo shoot? It was, I just didn't understand what was going on. It was too, I would have lost my shit. Like there wouldn't have been no photo shoot. We would just have to, I don't mean, I guess you get the Claremont twins. I'm sure there's some other set of twins in Mississippi somewhere that you could have gotten, but the Claremont twins look a mess. I'm looking at their before pictures and their after. They look like Kardashian Jenner rejects. That's what they look like. They're washing their hair. Cliff said they got some big lips. I'm just used to the girls being natural. And she was like, you cannot say that. They can hear you. You in a studio that don't have no hot water. You know good and goddamn well they ain't got no damn walls. So you know they can hear his ass saying that they got some big lips. I'm just used to the natural girls. Shut up, Cliff. Talking loud. And anyways, this is not your brand. Who gives a damn what you want? This ain't your damn brand. Anyways, the products work well in their hair. They have the photo shoot, and at the end they take a picture, and I put Cliff in the pictures. Why? Why are you in the pictures? This is not, you are supposed to be a silent investor. Sit your silent ass off to the side, off the camera, so we could take pictures. I can take pictures with the models for my hair care line that you are giving me money or investing money in my business. You don't need to be in the pictures, child. Anyways, Tambra is sitting down with Gary with the T. Shout out to Gary with the T. And she's actually asking him for advice on some footage that she wants to add to her reel. And she wants to cross over and to get into more serious reporting. And so she shows him this reel. And so we get a glimpse of Tambra being really good when it comes to entertainment reporting, being on the red carpet at these music award shows and things like that. She's really, really good, but she wants to cross over. So she shows Gary these tapes of her interviewing these people, and she is her usual jovial, elevated. Her voice is like, hey, and thank you. And it didn't call for that. So Gary is like, look, you got to give me something different. You got to tone it down. This is not the same type of reporting. And he says, what you need to do is go see the other reporters in your area and watch them and see what they're doing, right? An entertainment reporter, you cannot bring that same energy to a report about something that is not lighthearted, right? You can't bring that high energy, jovial, hey, personality when you're talking about somebody getting ran over or hit and run accident. Let me go ahead and, interview you. You can't do that. You have to have a different approach. And she's like, well, would that sounds like I don't have to be myself. He says, no, you can bring yourself to that, but you just need to tone it down a little bit. Watch your local news people and see what they act. And then she's like, so would you show that? And he was like, I wouldn't show that. And he was like, I'm telling you this all in love. And so she was like, okay, it sounds like I need to go back to the drawing board. And that's good. That's why you have friends. You have friends who are in spaces where if you want to get to that space, you ask them for their advice. You don't see them as competition or, anything like that. You ask them, hey, I'm getting ready to add some shit to my reel. Let me know what you think about it since you are familiar in this realm of entertainment. And he told her with love. And so she said she's going back to the drawing board. So Letitia and Glenn are at the balance coach. And they talk about their situation. And they do this thing called a dance where they basically mirror each other's behavior. You act like Glenn and you act like Letitia. And what they did was reenact the scene that we just saw with them when he was asking for the CUNtract. So I'm like, okay, so y'all don't have any other points of reference on how he acts when he gets home or how she acts when you get home, y'all gonna reenact what we just saw on the last episode, 2 episodes. That's what I mean by their scenes are staged. And then they're going through the process. She says, Letitia says, okay, I understand. You were all in your phone when I was talking to you, and so I understand where you're coming from with that. And then a balance coach tells him, well, it seems like when you come in the house, you're looking for something to complain about. And so he was like, I kind of understand, the point of view now. He says, I'm going to do better. So he tells her, I'm going to do better. And he says, but I still want to I have a question about this contract. So he pulls out the contract out of his back pocket. And then he says that he wants 50% of her earnings. He wants to be in on what you're doing, even though when you're home, he doesn't want you working on it. But whatever you do work on, he wants half of it. So she pulls a contract out of her back pocket. Why not out of your purse? Talking about, I know my husband, I'm going to be 2 steps ahead of you. So she comes back with her counter contract and tells him that she will give him 51% of her earnings if you stay with me forever and and love me forever. Well, that's the joke. Because the joke is he's not going to stay with you forever. Number one, he's not going to love you forever. So that's the gag. It might look like she's being stupid, because that is stupid to tell a man, if you love me forever, I'll give you 51% of all my earnings. But they're sometimey and a little shifty. So that that's not going to happen. He's not going to love you forever. Nothing lasts forever. So the contract is already done, because he's not going to be able to fulfill his contract. She said, it's not about the money. Obviously, it is about the money. It's clearly about the money, because his issue is about the money. He's not worried about you. He's so not worried about you that when he comes home, he wants you to cater to him. But whenever you are working, he wants 50% of that. Girl, absolutely not. Even the balance coach was looking. She was like, what's going on? What are y'all doing? Like, is this part of what we said we was going to do? Child, it looked a mess. Anyways, her contract is a book, and the woman tells her that you guys need to have a couples dinner. So they're like, okay, we're going to do the couples dinner. So Marie and Essie go out to dinner to celebrate their 10,000 square foot mental health facility. They're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony, and they want to celebrate how much they have progressed in their business relationship. They sit down, and Marie says, I have all of this other stuff going for me in my business life, but I just can't, basically get the personal life with Cedric together. Her and Cedric have been together 12 years. Essie tells her right off the bat, Cedric is a parasite. He is a parasite, and all he does is drain you, and I don't know how you do it. You're a boss in every aspect of your life except for when it comes to this smiling ass nigga. What is the problem? And she's like, part of the problem is having to start over. Don't I tell you? How many women do you know staying in a jive ass fucked up relationship because of time? Because of time, and they don't want to get to know anybody else. Here's the plot twist to that. Guess what? You can break up with that man, and you don't have to get to know anybody else. You can be single for a little while. You can work on yourself. You can find yourself. You can do that. You don't have to get to know somebody else. You can cut the zero and be a hero on your own. Clearly, you're able to do it. Clearly, you're able to do it without him. So this idea that you need to stay in these fucked up jive ass relationships because of time and you don't want to get to know anybody else, you don't have to get to know anybody else. Try that and see how it works. Just see how it works. Essie tells her he doesn't deserve you. He doesn't deserve you. He's not there for you. What are you getting out of this? Remember what I always say, if it's not mutually beneficial, dump the investment. If you are investing and not seeing a return on your investment in your relationships, drop it. Why would you hold on to something that's really not increasing in value? Really not, you're not even seeing a return, nothing. You just put your money into something, your energy, your time, your love, or whatever you want to call it. You put all this into this person and they're not giving nothing back to you. Why are you doing that? Why? For what? Because you've known them for a long time? Loyalty has nothing to do with time. And let me tell you something. The first person you need to be loyal to is to yourself. Yeah, that's the first person. Because when you go against yourself, that's really, you want to think about the greatest sin that you can commit is going against yourself. That's the greatest sin that you can commit, is going against yourself, dishonoring yourself. Trust me, I know, okay? He's in Aruba right now for 2 weeks without his wife. How? Well, he said that we weren't going to be traveling alone anymore. Well, obviously, he doesn't give a damn. And it shows you right there. I know you love him, but he doesn't love you. And I love that Essie is letting her friend know and reminding her friend of who she is. You know, the other day I was like, don't mind your business, right? Because I used to be like that. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody to break up with their man because they're going to keep going back to them and back to them and back to them. But you're just going to have to be mad at me because I'm going to remind you of who you are. I'm here to remind you as your friend of who you are and what you're capable of, and what you are allowing is completely going against yourself. So I'm glad Essie, she's not like Cynthia. She's not like Candy. She's not telling, well, you know, I hate that you and Cedric are going through these things. I really like him. You really like the man who is causing your friend so much pain? You do? Really? Okay. No. She tells her, I love you. You are my friend. And I love that. You know, there's these things that's saying, you know, I've been calling Essie Marie's woman and this and that. And just as a joke. But, you know, it's important to have a close friend, no matter the gender. Really doesn't matter the gender. A close friend who is going to be honest with you. You know my thing, uplift, support, encourage, and keep honest. I'm going to keep you honest in a loving way, in a constructive way, in a way that builds you up. I'm not going to sit across from you and tell you to go back into a relationship that dishonors yourself and doesn't serve you. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to give you that advice. If you don't like the advice that I'm giving you, where I'm reminding you of who you are and the boss that you are, and you continue to go, when you come to me, I'm going to tell you, don't go with that guy. Every time you might be mad at me, and when he drags your ass through the damn dirt, then I'll be here to help you get through that. But every time you come and talk to me, I'm going to tell you, girl, remember who you are. Don't allow this man to break you all the way down, to bring your damn social credit score plummet. Don't allow no person to do that to you. Man, woman, non-binary, whoever, it doesn't matter. Don't let anybody bring you down. You could do that on your own. You could do that on your own. And you're making all these accomplishments. I think that people need to, you know, come to their friends with love. I don't want to sit across from anybody telling me that they like the person who's bringing pain into my life. No, absolutely not. I don't even want to talk to the person who, if you say that you care about me, you cool with that person. Somebody who's harming me and you cool with them? Oh, no. Well, then y'all can be cool together, but I can't be cool with neither one of you. Fuck you both. Okay? So I'm here for Essie giving Marie the advice. Tambra is at her job. Her program director comes in and says, we need to talk to you. And she was like, what's going on? So she finds out she's the number one midday diva. They give her a little party. Letitia shows up. I don't know. It wasn't clear on whether she was invited or not. But it's so funny when Tambra tells people that her eggs are frozen, and she leans her head to the side and she says, I told you I froze my eggs, didn't I? She did the same thing when she was in that place where her and her friend, when they was picking out clothes for her birthday party, that guy she was with. I told you I froze my eggs, didn't I? Didn't I tell you I froze my eggs? Then she did that to the ex-boyfriend. Didn't I tell you? I told you I froze my eggs, didn't I? And then she did it with Letitia. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you I froze my eggs? I told you I froze my eggs, didn't I? Girl, just say I froze my eggs. Didn't I tell you I froze my eggs? If you didn't, girl, it doesn't matter. I froze my eggs. I'm letting y'all know. I was like, okay, okay, Tambra. So she talks about, so basically what it sounds like to me, Tambra wants a sperm donor because it didn't make sense for her after Letitia invites her to the couples dinner for her to be like, ooh, I don't know if I want to go to a couples dinner. I mean, we just started back talking. You just started back talking, but you talking about your fertility and a couples dinner is too much? Girl, I'm confused. How is a couples dinner too much and you talking about children? Girl, that doesn't even make sense. So my mind and, people online, I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense to me. And they're like, she wants a sperm donor. That's what she really wants. She just wants him to be, but I thought that Tambra was on some traditional shit because when she sat with her mom and dad, they were asking about babies and she was like, well, I kind of want to be married first. So what are you doing? I hope, Tambra, you are not trying to hurry up and have a baby for your parents. I hope that's not what's happening because that's trash as fuck if that's what's happening. She says she doesn't want to run him off for going to a couple's dinner, but you think asking him for his sperm won't do that? Girl. Okay. So we start off in the scene. It's like in the middle of Marie and Essie. They're having a conversation standing over Marie's bed, and they got boxes on the bed. They got these boxes, and they putting in these pastel clothes that look like, honey, Cedric's church clothes, because he gives me Deacon always smiling and shit. That's when you know the niggas ain't shit, always smiling and cheesing and hey, yeah, what you smiling for? What you smiling for? Stop all that damn smiling. So he hasn't been home. He actually came home and didn't call her or anything. So they packing up the little shit that he has at her house. Didn't look like much. I was like, he don't have much. I've given him so many chances. He has embarrassed and humiliated me. And she said he changes for a little while and then he goes back to his old self. She said she has actually caught him. Let me tell you something. If you see your man sliding his in and out of somebody's, ain't no way in the world you should go back to that. It's over right then and there. Why would you go back to that? If you caught your man in the middle of a stroke and you take him back, bitch, I'm questioning your mental health. You need to go into one of your facilities today. Girl, I wish I would. Everybody would be dead. So they go and drop his shit off at some trap house. I don't know where they went. The house didn't look, it had no curtains. You could see the damn outside of the house, the inside of the house on the outside of the house. You understand what I'm saying? You know when they put the stuff up and it has all the markings of the insulation people, that the company that make the insulation, that's what you could see. There's no paneling on the side of the house, nothing. I don't know whose house this was. I don't know. If Cedric is living in the house that he had when he was a bachelor, this is not the house. So y'all playing with me. Because why would you take, this looks like a house in the middle of being built. It looks like a house that it didn't even have and then you drop off this man's clothes. There's no porch light. There's nothing. Like it literally looks like a house in the middle of construction. So I'm not sure why you didn't take it to the house that he lives in, that you said that he has. At the beginning of the season, you said he lives in the place that he had before y'all got together. Why you didn't take it there? Whose house is this? That's the thing that I don't like. I want reality. I don't want you dropping off in some underdeveloped subdivision somewhere and then act like you really doing something. That was weird. That was so weird. So anyways, they're sitting down at the couples dinner. It's Cliff and Latrice. It's Letitia and Glenn. Melanie comes in with some man that says it's her date. And then Marie comes in with this tall man who is not Cedric, and everybody is looking like, what? And then Latrice in the confessional was like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Are you married? Are you not married? Because this is not your husband, girl. It doesn't matter because her husband is a cheater. So it wouldn't be no question who she brought. I would be like, oh, okay, well, we know Cedric's a cheater. We know he goes out of the country without her and stays for 2 weeks. Ain't no telling what he's doing. So I wouldn't even give a damn who Marie brought. She can bring whoever she wants to bring, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, okay, Marie's brought another nigga here that's not her husband. Well, okay. Hey, what's your name? All right, nice to meet you, bruh. Wouldn't be that. Now that's when you mind your business. That's when you don't say nothing because you already know what she's dealing with. You already know who her husband is, so it wouldn't be no question. All right. Anyways, y'all, that was it for the episode. You saw Latrice's face when Marie walked in. She was like, child, she couldn't help but roll her eyes. I saw you, Latrice. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.